Hi and welcome to today's review. Today we're doing an Inkspot review of one of my favourite inks, and that is J. Herbin's 1670 Emerald of Chivor. This ink is a unique ink in so many ways. It comes from, as you can see, the 1670 range, and not only does it have a really lovely dark emerald colour, but it also is well known for, as this line of inks are, for shimmer and sheen, which you can see here on the card. It has a really unique sort of sheen that goes between sort of a gold and a red, depending on how much you actually put down, and then a beautiful shimmer effect from gold coloured particulates that are put in the ink. So as you can see, it comes in this lovely cardboard box, and when we take it out of the box, you see the beautiful bottle with sort of wax sort of a cap and seal on it with 1670 labelled there, and you can see also the gold particulates there in the bottom of the bottle. Let's have a look at it on paper now, and this was done on Rhodia 80-gram paper and done with a TWSBI Eco 1.1mm stub. As you can see from the page here and the Walt Whitman quote, you get a lot of beautiful saturation from this ink. Those gold particulates give it a real shine to the writing, and those little points of sheen that appear are just really beautiful. It's a really wet ink. It is well lubricated and writes beautifully in this stub nib. So what we'll do is we'll do a quick swab, and you can see that drying. Then I'll do a second writing sample and water test, and then we'll sum it up. So as you can see from that ink swab, those gorgeous gold particulates just really radiate in the ink. It's really lovely. Now we'll do a second pen writing test, and then a water resistance test, and then have a bit of a look at some of the features of the ink. So the second pen today is a budget pen that has been causing a bit of a stir. It's the Jinhao 992. So this is it's in a fine with Now, the reason I chose this particular pen is because it's not super wet. It's obviously wet enough to lay down a nice amount of ink, but I wanted to see sort of what it would do with the particulates, and also, of course, if we got any of that nice sort of sheen coming through. Just while that dries, let's have a quick look at these some of these first 5 points. Now, in terms of wetness, yes, this is a very nice wet ink. It's got really great lubrication and goes down beautifully on the page in just about every pen you use it in. Shading is fair. There are occasions where you get a little bit, but it is such a dark, beautiful, saturated colour that the shading isn't so apparent. Sheen is good. As you can see, once again from that swab, there are little hints of a nice sort of red halo around the ink. And bleed and feather, well, let's have a look. So we got some bleed on this Rhodia paper where we did the swab, but really not a lot of bleed anywhere else from either pen, which is really positive, really great to see. And there is absolutely no feathering on this paper. It is a wet ink, so if you use it on cheaper paper, you are potentially going to get a little bit of feathering, but if you're careful about the pens you use and the paper you use it on, I think you should be okay. Cleaning is fair. This ink does, because it's got these particulates, does sort of tend to clog up feeds a little bit, and it can be a little tricky to clean out because of that. So it is one of those inks you do have to be careful of, and you may not want to put it in some of your better, more expensive pens, and especially vintage pens or pens that are particularly hard to clean. For me, it's either cartridge converter pens or simple sort of piston filling pens, particularly something like the TWSBI, which you can take apart to clean so easily. Let's now do this water resistance test, see how it goes. So I'm just taking a wet cotton bud and I'm just going to run it through this writing. And as you can see, it really does a bit of a number on the ink. We lose all the detail and it does stain the paper, but yeah, this is not a water resistant ink. So to sum it up, I really love this ink. I love writing with it. It's one of the few inks with particulates, the gold particulates in it, that I actually really like, and I give it 4 out of 5 based on all of this. Of course, that X factor of this ink is that shimmer that you get writing with it. It's quite gorgeous and something that has made this ink very, very popular. So that was J. Herbin's 1670 Emerald of Chivor. If you found this video useful, please give me a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. Hit the notifications button if you want to stay up to date with the videos that I produce. Please feel free to drop me a message with any questions or information you'd like to pass on, or if you've got any products you'd particularly like me to look at, I'll see what I can do. You can either message me here on YouTube or at my blog on Instagram or Twitter, which are linked down below. In the meantime, enjoy your pens, enjoy writing, and I'll talk to you later.